Hey, what's up? It's Cecily, and I'm representing for Drive Girl Drive. I'm at the DMV waiting to get my registration for my car because it's about to expire today. Actually, expires today, and they will kick you off the platform if you don't renew your stuff on time. So I'm dealing with that, but I thought that I would do a video. I've had someone ask me to do this video, and I'm sure this is also a question that a lot of my writers ask me. How do you, as a woman, put up with guys that hit on you? Dun, 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 dun. Is it a thing? Does it happen? The short answer is yes. Does it affect whether I want to drive or not? Do I feel unsafe? I would say yes and no. Here's the thing. When I first started driving, I was like super greedy. I was so about it. I really wanted to get as much money as possible, so I really dedicated myself to doing this job whenever I could. And that also meant, like, you know, drifting off into like the after the dinner hours, the club hours, taking people to the club, picking people up from the club. And those were some of the scariest moments I've ever had driving for Uber, to be honest with you. I've had a few instances where I could tell, or where I knew someone was going to hit on me, or people were going to be aggressive, especially if you have a bunch of guys together. I mean, you can just forget about it. You have 3-4 guys together who are ready to go out, who've been drinking. The adrenaline's pumping. You're a woman in the car. I really don't think it has much to do with even looks. If you're a decently aged person, I say decent, like middle age to like 20s to middle age, you can expect for guys to just kind of like, you know, kind of have fun and kind of have this like boys will be boys sort of attitude. So I would say prepare for that. But I definitely have had situations where I've had people like hit on me and think that mistook me being friendly and being cordial as an invitation to like go into their house, or to give them my number, or why don't we go to dinner, or now you can be my driver and you can be my date kind of thing, which is bizarre as hell. It's bizarre. Like, guys, if you're riders and you have a female driver, she's being nice to you, it's just because she's being nice. I mean, it's just cool to pass the time and to talk. She's not getting at you. She's not hitting on you. Unless she's hitting on you. Unless she's like, you're fine. I like you. I want some of that. Then yeah, by all means. But if someone's like, hi, how are you doing today? And asking you, you know, about your job and stuff like that, just take it as pleasant conversation to pass the time. I would say the one of the craziest times somebody hit on me was when I picked this guy up. It was like in Santa Monica outside of a bar. I'd already told myself, I'm going home. I'm going home. After this, I'm good. Those usually are the times when you need to leave. When you have that moment like, this is my last ride, I think you should just get out of there, period. Like, I don't think you should push past that feeling. But I did this time. And there was this gentleman who was standing outside, and there was a bunch of Ubers, and everybody was getting into their cars, and I was like, please don't let it be this guy. So it's this guy. He's like 6'7", huge guy, done, throwed. And he so he gets in the car, and I'm like, he only has his first initial as B, and so I'm like, so what's your name? And he doesn't answer me. So I'm like, here we go. And I'm like, do you know who you are? Wait, you know what? Show me your phone. So he shows me your phone, and then I see it's my picture. So I'm like, okay, at least we're supposed to be matched together. And he lives like in not the Palisades. Yeah, he lives actually in the Palisades, at the beginning of the Palisades. But we're gonna take the route through Santa Monica to get there, which becomes really kind of desolate. There's no street lights out there, and there's these huge houses with these huge gates. And I'm like, man, you could hide me inside this car, inside of one of them little houses, or one of those, you know, gated communities, and never find me. I mean, I'm already thinking this. So we're driving. He's so drunk, and he's worried about his brother, and I'm talking to him about his brother, and I'm like, okay, if we talk about your family members, maybe you won't kill me. I don't know. So I'm giving advice to him about his brother, telling him to call his brother. He hates his brother's girlfriend, all this kind of stuff. And then he goes, you are so small. Like, you are so tiny. And I'm like, I am not tiny. I'm a tall and very curvy, thick woman. I'm grown. And I am not. And he's like, yeah, but anything can happen to you. Like, anything can happen to you. And I'm like, anything can happen to me? I'm just going to let you know right now, if anything happens to me, I'm going to put up a fight. And he was like, oh my God, what are you insinuating? I'm like, what am I insinuating? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I was really like, are you trying to scare me right now as we're driving on this like desolate road and stuff like that? And he goes, no, I'm so sorry, so sorry. And so he's apologizing the whole way. We get to like his house. His house is like it's like one of those houses on like, it's mountainous in this area. So his house is built up on the hill. And he's like, let me open the gate. And I'm thinking, I don't even know how to get in and out of this place. I'm not going inside of the gate. So I was like, no, I'm not going to go in the gate, but I'll drop you off here. So I go to drop him off. I pull up into the driveway, and he gets out of the car, and it's as slow as humanly possible. And he steps outside the car, one leg, then the other leg, and the door's still kind of like touching him. He's still in between my door and the car. And he opens the door up some more. He turns around super slow, and he leans into the car, and he goes, you are so beautiful. You're so beautiful. And I was like, I gotta go. And he's like, okay. So he backs up, which pushes the door out further. So the door now is completely open, and he's still standing there. So what I do is I put my car in reverse, and I pull my car out this way. So there's a chance I could actually hit him with the car door if the door swung, but it didn't. So when I went back, the door went open. It opened up all the way, and he stepped back, and the door closed. And when the door closed, I just skirted off and took off. And I didn't even know how I was getting out of there, but I was like, let me just get away, you know. And I was driving crazy, getting away from him and that street and everything. And then I put my GPS on it and went home. I contacted Uber about that ride and about him, and they were like, so sorry. And I think they said something to the fact that we won't match you up with him again. Oh, okay. But I was just like, man, like, it was the creepiest stuff ever. So, like, why would you talk about how small I am and how I could be at risk for something happening to me while you're sitting in my front seat and you're like freaking 6'7", 6'8", huge, like solid too. Crazy looking hair all over his face. You couldn't see his face. I was just like, man, is this how I'm going out? So I know these videos like come off as, you know, hey, you can make a lot of money. You can do this, you can do that. But you got to realize that, you know, your life is at stake with any and everything too that you do. But you're coming in contact with strangers. And if you're going to drive in the middle of the night or late at night or when people are typically drinking, you're going to deal with a different element of society. What do they say? The freaks come out at night? Remember that. Anyway, that is my 2 cents on a crazy time when I had somebody hit on me. And yes, these guys do that. Most people are decent, though. Most men are decent in this scenario. I don't necessarily feel unsafe unless I do. And, you know, you can never trust anybody. Women can be criminals. Women can hurt you, too. So, you know, always make sure that you protect yourself. And stay safe out there. Okay, guys? I'm going to go and see if they call my number yet. Bye-bye.